Understanding legal terminology can be crucial when entering into agreements. One phrase that often appears in negotiations is subject to contract. But what does it really mean, and how does it affect your legal rights? Let's explore this important concept. The term subject to contract indicates that parties do not intend to be legally bound until a formal contract is executed. It's essentially a safeguard used during negotiations to allow for discussion and preliminary agreements without creating immediate legal obligations. To fully grasp this concept, we need to understand what a contract is. At its core, a contract is a promise between two or more parties that can be legally enforced. There are three main types of contracts: simple contracts, bilateral contracts, and unilateral contracts. Each type has different implications, especially when marked as subject to contract. Every contract, regardless of its type, consists of three key elements: the offer, which explains the terms; the consideration, which is what will be exchanged; and the acceptance, where all parties agree to the terms. The phrase subject to contract is commonly used in various scenarios. In business negotiations, it allows parties to explore terms without immediate commitment. Employers may use it in job offers to leave room for negotiation. It's also frequently seen in supply agreements and loan negotiations. Real estate transactions often employ subject to contract clauses. For example, a property sale might be subject to the buyer selling their current home. This protects both the buyer and seller during negotiations, allowing them to back out if certain conditions aren't met. Using subject to contract has both advantages and disadvantages. It offers flexibility and protection during negotiations, but it can also create uncertainty. Sellers might continue showing a property to other potential buyers, while buyers can lock in a purchase price while they arrange financing. It's important to note when subject to contract negotiations become legally binding. This typically occurs when all parties explicitly agree to be bound by the terms and sign a formal contract. However, complications can arise if parties act in ways that suggest they intend to be bound, even without a signed contract. Given the complexity surrounding subject to contract clauses, it's often wise to seek legal advice. An experienced attorney can help navigate these terms and ensure your interests are protected throughout the negotiation process. Understanding the meaning and implications of subject to contract can significantly impact your legal agreements. By being aware of its use and effects, you can better protect your interests and navigate negotiations with confidence.